Good evening and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today I'm taking my first look at Swords of Cthulhu. So this is part of Joseph Bloch's Adventures Dark and Deep role-playing system. And, it's kind of a funny story because this was a Kickstarter I backed sometime in the spring of 2022, I want to say, and somehow I just missed the email sending me the codes for the hardcover back in August. So I've had the PDF for since back in August, and I didn't bother digging into this because I was waiting for the hardcover to come out, and yeah, somehow I just missed the code. So I reached out to Joseph within the last 2 weeks or so and say, hey, whatever happened to the code, or maybe I didn't get the code for the for the hardback, and he sent me a new code, and along with the updated version, I guess, of the PDF version as well. So now I have them both. So let's go into. We're going to switch screens first. I'm going to show you Adventures Dark and Deep. I'm fairly certain I did a video on this, although I don't think I broke it down completely when I first received the system from Drive Through RPG. So let me show you that real quick. So this is the player's manual of Adventures Dark and Deep, and I don't know if this has been updated since then. I know that they are in hardcover now, and I might consider upgrading to that. There's currently a bundle, I think, for like $99. So you will get Adventures Dark and Deep, the player's manual, the Game Master's Toolkit, and the Monster Manual. Um, I'm fairly certain all in hardcover for like $99. Actually, I know they're all in hardcover for $99. So I don't know if the hardcovers are are updated versions of these or not, or they're just in hardcover form. I don't so much mind having the soft covers. However, when I got the hardcover here and I see that it has the orange bind, and I'm assuming that the others do as well, I might want to upgrade and get everything in hardcover. And then if they are the same as these, then I will send these out as a prize once my channel hits 3,000 subscribers. Then I will do some giveaways of some excess RPG books that I do have. So that might be something I definitely consider doing, is upgrading to the hardbacks across the board. If I go to a convention, a local convention, like I know I had the chance to meet with, and I for some reason I didn't do it at the time. Joseph Bloch was at a local convention that I had attended, and I might have just said hello to him at the time, but I didn't pick up anything because I knew I had this Kickstarter already coming to me. So anyway, without further ado, let's get to taking a look at Swords of Cthulhu. If he is at the next convention that I go to, Rising Phoenix, and I see the hardcovers there, I'm definitely buying them when I get there. That's the point I was going to make. So let's take a look at this. So I'm a sucker for anything H.P. Lovecraft, and to have a D&D system that is going to include Call of Cthulhu, then I'm certainly going to look into that. I do have the original Deities and Demigods, which had the Cthulhu mythos in it. So I do have that, and but it'll be fun to see how this kind of relates to that. I think that was primarily gods and stuff, and this I think is going to have a little bit more of the creature section into it. My first time looking at it, even though I've had the PDF for a long time, I like to wait till I get everything in hand. So this is copyrighted 2022. BRW Games, and that's how you can find them on drive-through. And I'm sure there's probably direct as well. So let's see, who did the cover art? Is illustrated by Danielle Eskridge of dreamstime.com, used with permission. So, and then tons of interior art. And I'll spend a little time with that as well. So let's see, we are 127 pages. And let's hit some real quick things here. So there's the Deep One hybrid, degenerate, level limits for demi-humans, multi-class options for demi-humans, character classes. We have the cultist and the scholar. And let's see, running a Lovecraftian game, truths that bear the fruit of madness, three kinds of Lovecraftian campaigns, demons in the world of old ones, prehistory. I keep on going through insanity. So saving throws versus insanity, types of insanity, insanity triggers, monsters. And so we have a list of a variety of monsters going all the way through to here. Magic items, general notes on grimoires, magic item descriptions, artifacts and relics, deities, demigods, and dwellers in the depths. And so we have a variety of them here. It's kind of interesting because I guess when original Dungeons and Dragons and Advanced Dungeons and Dragons came out with the deities and demigods back in, I want to say it was like 78 or 79, perhaps Call of Cthulhu and the Cthulhu mythos wasn't quite into public domain yet. It obviously is now. And so, I think that might have been the problem that they ran into, old TSR ran into, was the fact that Call of Cthulhu wasn't quite in public domain as of 1978 or 79 when they first made that book. Inspirational readings, I'm sure that's got to be all H.P. Lovecraft stuff. Maybe some Robert E. Howard stuff. I'll be impressed. Like I said, this is the first time I'm taking a look at it. So we go to character races. So the Deep One hybrid. Oh, so you can be a Deep One. Um, I'm assuming it has to mean that you're playing an evil character as well. They're going to have super low charisma scores. I'm thinking they should. Let's see. Yeah, male 3 to 15. So yeah, their maximum is so they take a -3 on the top end of charisma, which makes sense. Male strength is between 6 and 18, so they get a boost in strength. Everything else and constitution, they're fairly hardy, right? 19, but their charisma is low, 3 to 15. Deep One hybrids lose 1 point of charisma for every 10 years of life. Okay. This loss, of course, gradually over the course of the decade, but will become fully noticeable on the creature's birthday in the years in which the multiples. All right, so on their 10th, 20th, 30th, etc. Hybrid score of 9 or less will cause unease among normal people. They have different height and weight modifiers, I guess, from standard humans. Cool stuff. All right, let's see what else we have here. We have the degenerate and loosely classified as members of the human family. Right? Cultist level limits, so you could be cultist. So that's one of the new classes. And now we have your going through your different types of deep one. Well, you have your deep one hybrid, then you have drow, then you have elf drow male, elf drow female, um, half drow, dwarf gray, dwarf hill or mountain, elf gray or high, half elf, elf wood, deep gnome, hill gnome, halfling all, half orcs all. I'm assuming that there is no cultist level limit for humans, and that's why they're not listed. And these are wisdom based. So the cultist, and just trying to get a gist of what they are and what they can do. Azathos cultists. All right, so you have different types of cultists based on the Cthulhu mythos deity that they worship. That's pretty cool. I like that, and they have some different unique spells to go along with that. That's pretty cool art. It's almost like an altar that's turned into this, and obviously he's about to sacrifice the human to it. Very cool. Nyarlathotep. I always had trouble with that. Cultist Trust. Shub-Niggurath cultists. So they have quite a bit on them. The Shuga cultists, and it looks pretty cool. Then you have the Scholar. I'm pretty sure Scholar was a class in Dragon Magazine as well, or a subclass in Dragon Magazine as well. But that's cool. And they have obviously different skills that will come along with it. Astrological charts, special events, portents, and known events. Base chance of scholarship skill success. Minor healing, major healing, confound death. A successful check means a person who has been dead no more than D12 hours can be restored to normal functioning with the application of baths of special chemicals and the maintenance of temperature of 40 degrees Fahrenheit or less. The chemical baths require at least 4 hours and cost 25 gold pieces per day. Such chemicals can only be obtained in large urban centers with several alchemists and residents. The device has a 1% chance of breaking down each day. Repairs, well, okay, we get into more of that. Interesting. So they do add some technology here. The technology of Nyarlathotep. Let's see. The technology of Yith. So pretty cool stuff. Like I said, I was expecting to see some technology, and of course it's here. We have some spells Spells are indicated, new spells are indicated in italics. Spells that are specific to one or more cults are marked with an asterisk. All right. So, so we have new spells, and we have old spells, and we also have specific spells. Looks like most of them are, there's a lot of new and a lot of specific. So that's actually a big plus. At least in my mind, that's a big plus. All right, let's see what else we have. We'll get past the spell lists here. I guess that is Green Decay. A little bit of a, you can read it, but it almost looks like it's getting clipped, the writing, by the formatting there. All right, let's see. Let's get out of this. I like that picture. That's pretty cool. So clearly a lot of spells. Running a Lovecraftian game. One of the central themes of Lovecraft's original works is the final confirmation of the true nature of the universe through the act of seeing it firsthand is sufficient to drive even the most jaded student of the occult to the extremes of insanity. Yeah, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, if you played Call of Cthulhu back in the day, like in its first or second or even third editions, those are the ones that I'm most familiar with. I played a lot of first and second edition Call of Cthulhu. We used to joke about it, but it was really a fact. Was that there were only three there were only three outcomes in running a Cthulhu adventure. Um, you either lost your mind, you died, or you ran away before you became fully cognizant of what was going on, and you just heeded the hints of things and you fled. Um, so those were the only three outcomes, potential outcomes of playing Call of Cthulhu. And I'm hoping that this is very, very similar, just putting it into the game mechanics of a D&D clone game system. So we have some lore talking about Lang and Relea and the Dreamlands, getting to and from the Dreamlands. We have the various relationships. Oh, that's interesting. So we have the various relationships between different entities, cults, and races. We have an insanity system. I'm going to take a closer look at this in a separate video because I think it's going to be a major part of this, and so I want to spend some great deal of time with it. And then it might also be something that can be very easily transferred to another game system that you're running, um, which would definitely be cool to look at. Oh my gosh, is this like a D1000 chart? It looks like it is. It is in fact a D1000 chart. So that's pretty cool. Now we get into the monster manual section. So a deep one has 78, 4d8, sorry, 48 hit points. Race of, so these are an ancient race of sea dwelling creatures. Let's see if they have a insanity inducing ability here. No, they don't. I guess that's a Dark Hunter. Chaotic evil, chaotic evil. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of chaos with Cthulhu mythos. These are quite powerful. 7d10. And I'm surprised they don't have a. I'm not seeing an insanity effect. They do have a morale score that's attached to them, and so it must make it where it's harder for you to maintain morale against them. So a +6, a +0 formless spawn. Um, the Great Race of Yith, just a +3 morale. So maybe that is more difficult to make a morale check, and so you only get a +3 with it. I'm just guessing. I have not torn into this as much as possible. Um, let's see. You know what? If I come across the morale check of the deities, that will see a +4 morale check. 9 gaunts were always something that really stunned the human mind. So an old one, +4 morale. Yeah, you come across things like this, and you're though +10 on. So I'm not really sure. Spawn of Cthulhu +4. This might be their morale too, so I'm not quite sure if it's what it affects you or what it affects them. I will spend time with that when I deal with insanity, and then I will deal with that here in a separate video. Again, this is just a first look. We have the famous Necromonicon. We're almost to, so deities, demigods, and dwellers. See, now these have no morale indicator at all. So I have a feeling you affect their morale. Inspirational reading. I'm just looking for anything that stands out. Looks like most are just short stories found in weird tales or amazing stories. Strange happenings, random tables, dungeon dressing. I see some quirks. So pretty cool stuff. Um, like I said, I am going to spend as my first look. I am going to spend more time looking at very specific systems. So I'm going to take a look at the insanity system. I am going to take a look at the some of the magic items and stuff like that, especially the grimoires and different ways of handling them. Certainly want to take a look at that D1000 chart and see how that might be easily ported over into any other game systems that you can port it over into. So that'll be interesting to see, and just to see how it handles doing various things differently. It looks like a great source book. So I'm really happy to have it. It has a good combination of lore. It has it has new monsters. It has new magic items. It has new spells. It has new classes. It has setting features and charts. Different kinds of charts and everything that you can use to help develop it. It gives you ideas about the various different themes. If you're going to run a Cthulhu inspired campaign. So certainly glad I picked it up. Looks beautiful, and has that classic spine. So would go really really well next to my AD&D first edition books. Even though it probably falls more closely towards between second and third. But yeah, I mean, great stuff. So the only thing I really need for my Adventures Dark and Deep collection is the generic monster manual, and so I will, certainly look to include that. And like I said, if they're all in hardcover and they all have the orange spine, I'm more inclined to get the other three books while they're available for on sale for like $100 for the three books. So I'm going to inquire about that and see if they are all orange bound and orange spine bound and hardcover, and consider doing that as well. So I hope you like this video. Like I said, I am going to go more into detail with this particular book and make a return back to Adventures Dark and Deep and take a deeper look at that game system as well. Um, as always, thanks for joining. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the questions and comments section. Just leave a comment. If there's anything you'd like for me to take a look at, please, feel free to do so. If there's anything specifically in Adventures Dark and Deep that you would like me to go over, please let me know. I have everything that you've seen so far here. I just can't go into the monster manual yet, but I certainly intend to pick that up along the way. And you all have a great last bit of your weekend. Although, if you're in the States, you probably have tomorrow off. And so, happy President's Day tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime soon. Have a great evening. Take care.